Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, joining with hubby.
Okay.
And today we are finishing the Hummingbird Queen.
Yay!
Need to get it finished. Alright, so this is where we left off last week. We got more of the foliage done at the top, which on camera looks like it's done, but I can still see issues. And we started darkening some stuff up. It's always hard to see, the light doesn't capture right. Frustrating. Hey, Kathy, Andrea, Gila, Sonia, Greg. We'll wait for more to come in and then we'll say hi again.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we are going to get started with the 18 extra small. And I'm going to be at 3.5, and we are going to put in quickly the rest of the foliage at the top. I need to darken the water here and finish a bit of the water, and then any final adjustments that need to be made, and he is done.
Wow. End of an era.
No doubt. Seems like it's taken forever. So what I'm going to do is get this camera out of my face. I'm going to angle it over here so you can see.
Are we going to talk about the
What?
the other project that you're doing?
No, not yet.
No.
The Super Toasties, no.
Okay.
I want to redo it.
Well, I know.
And get my...
But do you want to talk about the direction that you're going, or?
No,
No?
not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
But I'm excited about it.
I got that.
Okay. I want to. People like fire, and they like
They do.
big pieces of artwork, and I can say no more because you just told me to say no more. Basically.
So what I'm doing is just using the tip, and I'm just really just scrumbling it in, because nobody's going to know what kind of leaves they are. It'll just look like foliage, so I don't have to stress about it. I'm not even really looking at my reference. Put some darker areas in.
Oh, Burl's there.
Hey, Burl. And this way, only you guys know what it's supposed to be. Let's see here. Put some dark in here. Kind of push it back. See, last week we were pushing things back so they weren't all standing out front proud, because not everything would really be showing. Not in detail. These are further back behind our queen, so we need to push those back. And I'm just moving quickly, just using the tip. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to be exact. They're leaves. I think sometimes we overstress. And when things are in the background, you need to spend time on the background, and it needs to look like you spent time, but it does not have to be exact. It's your world.
It's your world, Boo.
That's right.
Speaking of Casper, Boo, Carrie is here.
Oh, Carrie's here.
And so is Teresa.
Hey, Teresa. Hey, Carrie.
And I will be right back.
You gotta go get your go-go juice.
I do. Is it really go-go juice, though? It's not making you go-go.
Oh, no, it doesn't make you go-go.
Makes me happy.
Make you happy. Just trying. I'm gonna have to wipe this down and get all the graphite off. Remember, this graphite's been sitting on here since 2018. It'll still come off. I just need to wipe it down. We just take it off. Don't matter anymore. And then separate here. And again, push them back. So I'm just going to go flat and drag quickly. What I'm doing is I'm tinting them in a burned fashion. We don't need all these standing out. Let's see, gotta look up. Hey, Aaron. And I've noticed that people have been doing, a couple of people in my regular Drawing with Fire group has been working on the horse. So I think next week we're going to bring the horse back and work on that a bit. So we can get that one done. I know I talked about this month burning one of Jason's characters that I make for his game, but we haven't made the character yet. So we'll get there. Just pushing it all back. You want some highlights in some areas because the light would be touching them. I'm going to quickly grab some denatured alcohol. Oh! And a paper towel. So I can start wiping down. Hey, Spence! Alrighty. I always rip, especially if they're the bigger paper towels, and this is an actual shop paper towel from Home Depot, so they're much thicker. I always tear them, and then I can make them last longer. And then I roll it, fold it, roll it some more, because when I dip, it'll just get more areas that I can move around. And I'm going to actually fold it one more time. I'm just going to quickly dip away from my face. Now these shop towels really soak it up, so it means it's not going to be as wet going on the board. A little easier to control that way. And then I can unfold it, and I've got 3 areas that I can use to wipe down. So we're going to quickly. Now remember, this not only takes off the graphite, any residual graphite, but it also gives me a better idea of how dark the wood's going to go when I varnish it. And I do have stuff coming off, totally normal. Not stressed about. I'm going to actually back this off. So now it will take off the white a little bit. The charcoal, the white charcoal actually stays pretty good, but I can always add more later. I'm not raising the grain of the wood, which is why, because if you do this with water, especially if you're not done burning, it will raise the grain. It can also warp your board, but this dries so quickly. It has an extremely low water content to it that we don't have an issue. All right. Make sure it's dry. Don't want to add heat to something that's flammable. But once it is dried, we don't have an issue. So, don't have an issue. Alrighty. Remember, this is on birch. I've been burning a lot on basswood, but this is actually birch. So let's get back in. I'm trying to angle this so you guys don't get a glare. No matter what I do, you're going to get a glare. Yeah, no matter what I do. Sorry about that. Now, I already know my tip is hot because I had it sitting and resting. I'm going to touch down in an area that's already been burned, and then I don't have to worry about getting the dreaded blob. Push these back. This also allows some more of the leaves that do have light and that are closer to us to stand out more. I just wiped the top half with denatured alcohol.
Oh, why?
To get the graphite out.
Oh, okay.
Clean the board. We're close to being, for the most part, done.
Oh.
So,
okay. Let's see.
Hey, scoot you up.
Let's see who else here. Lynx Lady.
Hey, Shirley.
Spence. Oh wait, no, Spence.
I got Spence. I'm
Okay.
just moving around very quickly.
Yeah, I brought my scarf.
I don't know why you're cold.
I don't know either.
It's
Oh,
not-
Greg had to go.
Bye, Greg.
We didn't miss saying goodbye to him. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not cold in here, at least not to me, but I work in my studio, you don't.
Yeah.
And I'm used to it, and you aren't.
Joe Bell is here.
Hi, Jovel.
Yes, I'm cold, Spence. I don't know why. Ever since I stopped drinking real coffee, like I cut caffeine, my metabolism's been way down, and I've noticed that I've been a little bit colder. So I don't know.
Alaska boy is cold, huh?
Yeah, I knew that was going to come up. I choose to be here so I don't have to deal with the cold of Alaska, which I love Alaska, but it's cold there. It's cold there right now. Actually, I talked to the girls,
Yeah.
and it's actually warming up there.
Well, we're
So-
supposed to warm up, but we got snow in the forecast this weekend.
With you?
We'll see.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I forgot who I was talking to. Oh, yay!
Yay, snow. Alright, I'm focusing on pushing back and darkening the areas that are closer to the stem, and where, say, the leaf is folding, or at the bottom of it.
You made me this scarf.
Oh.
This is my Hogwarts scarf, but I don't know what school it is.
It isn't. That one's
It's
not.
my special school.
Your special school, yes. So I'm flat, and I'm just burning the background just a little bit darker.
I don't know what school gray and black would be.
None of them.
No, I know. We'd have to make up a new school.
Oh. Alright, so we still have some leaves right here that we can push back. So they look like they're being overlapped. And then I'll back off the camera because you guys are so close right now. Actually, not as close as I thought you were. So you're seeing more of what's going on.
You are pretty close. I think it's a little fuzzy.
Is it a little fuzzy?
Maybe a little bit.
I did lower the sharpness a little bit. Alright, how's that?
That's better.
Okay.
Doing my job.
Doing your job. Here's the first for
I don't
everything.
want Burl to yell at me.
Pushing back. You know, areas that I've gone and pushed it back, I can go a little darker in between just to delineate the different layers.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And I'm just using the tip to go a little darker. And slowing down my pen. I'm not currently readjusting the heat. Pen control is your biggest friend. Once you get the hang of how fast to move your pen for different heat settings at the same temperature, it is going to open up. It's going to open up your burning. See, that's still so light.
I thought I was your biggest friend.
I'm going to go flat.
But aren't diamonds a girl's best friend?
Or white sapphires.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm surprised you haven't, flashed that on screen.
There's no reason to.
Okay.
I only do it to you.
We had to replace her wedding ring because the stones fell out.
Yeah.
And Valarie was sad.
Yes, I was.
And I was sad too. But
See, that's still so light. But when I look at the hummingbird, there we go. When I look at the hummingbird, it can go darker. Believe it or not, it can go darker. So I'm going to go flat. And I'm going to start pushing even more of it back.
really miss this scarf. It's been sitting in the closet for a while now. That's because I'd wear it to school.
Oh.
And then I stopped going to school.
You graduated.
I graduated. And I don't go out that much anymore.
No.
But I do have to go out for a couple things. So perhaps I will be wearing my scarf.
It's warming up outside. See, if I push this back, but I leave this lighter, it makes the leaves bending. Makes them bendy. So I just bent them. I think I need some more darks around the crown. I still need to figure, I don't think I want to add color, but I really want this crown to stand out. Did I just fill in the, I did. Oh well. Nobody will know. Nobody will know. Let's see here. Yeah, she's still so light, but so we just darken it up more.
Okay. Thus begins the near endless cycle of darkening and darkening more.
Well, in order for it to read right, it's just going to have to.
I know.
It needs more darks in between the leaves, again, to get those layers. And I gotta remember, it looks darker in person than it does on camera. I'm gonna adjust this to the light. And I think I also want more blurriness. So in order to get more blurriness, I'm gonna fill it in with a flat motion, meaning all the tip down, and try to cut some of the detail. So how many people have finished World Pyrography Month? I've got one little bottle to do, everything else is done. I really busted butt yesterday. Or Sunday. Or was it yesterday?
Both days probably, right?
Yeah, actually I think it was. That's because I was working on a special piece that had a deadline.
Oh, yeah. And I was working on the same thing because we're entering the same exhibition this year for the first time. And
it's been a long while.
Well, we entered the county fair together, but that's still different. Center for the Arts is fancy. So
it's been years since we've been in the same show.
And that was a surprise to me that it was happening, and it was a reduced time to work, so it put us both into crisis mode. And so
I'm so glad she was nice because the computer cut me off. Excuse me.
And so, in true artist fashion, we both wrecked our studios during the process.
I did. And then I had to clean up my studio in order to work on World Pyrography Month.
Yeah. So you were doing that, and I was working on other stuff. And napping. Well, you're napping too, but...
Let's see here. See, the hummingbird is dark, so I think I need to keep what's closer to her a little lighter in order for it to read right.
So Andrea says she did finish.
Oh, awesome! Yay, you get to make her a certificate.
Teresa says, not I, still going. And
I'm just glad Teresa's doing
said,
it.
I even got grief trying to send a message. I don't know what that's about.
Huh?
Well,
What message?
Explain, Carmen. Are you having problems sending a message? Joe Bell says, there you go, that looks good.
Yeah, it's... Let's see here. Let me turn it and see if I can angle it where the light... I think for the most part, let's back it off and look at it again. Always helps to look at it from different angles. Let's go flat. I think I do need the other light. I think for now it works. See, I have leaves over here. Sorry, don't want to make anybody dizzy. Trying to catch the light in the right way. Now those are littler. And I'm just going to scrumble around them. Because these are even further back. We can have some with the leaf shape. They don't need to be even as detailed as these. They do need
and that is because in real life, when stuff is further away, even though we know that specifically you might be looking at leaves, your brain perceives it as like, hey, there's some leaf-like shapes over there.
Yeah.
And that's all the...
It fills in the information.
So if you do go more detailed than that, it throws it off because your brain knows that it's not correct.
So I'm just pushing them back. They're not meant to stand out. They're meant to be filler. Almost like baby's breath in a thing of roses. They're not meant to be in your face like these are. See the light? Trying to get the light to bounce off. I don't know why this one's having a hard time with the light. What if I back off and then try to zoom in? Jeez, off.
That was bright.
It's this light. Could you turn this light off and then I'll just work with this one?
Yep.
And maybe that will help. It's my ceiling light.
Bam.
Kind of.
You want it back on?
Kind of. Well, we kind of disappear. No, we're fine.
Okay.
I can always brighten us.
Okay.
There we go. This is how I actually normally work.
Yeah.
I don't normally have a ton of light on. Get some of these shapes to fill it in.
It's hot.
You made it hot. Now I think I have some mist going on.
This scarf is fuzzy. I got fuzz in my mouth.
I'm going to up this cliff a little bit. Make it a little more irregular shape.
Carmen wants to know if you have any idea why she's having so many problems with this site.
With YouTube? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I can only think of maybe try and close it out and
Reopen it.
Sometimes that works. I don't know.
Let's see, this is a waterfall back here.
Because we have an excellent connection. Since you did your magic with the computer, we have not... I can say it.
You do that to me. You do that to me.
You don't have problems with buffering. Oh, no, with buffering.
Not even. Let's see here. This is supposed to be water, I think. Or is that?
Looks like water.
Well, the top of it. I can't remember if I overlapped it with leaves. It is moving very quickly. Because it almost looks like I did overlap it with leaves, but I'm not sure. I'll put some color on it. This is further in the back, so we have light hitting it here. And okay, that's what it is. So I need to darken this water a little bit. Push these leaves back. Always so hard when you haven't looked at your reference for so long. Trying to remember what your brain was thinking at the time. Let's back it out. Look at it. Okay, still looks like water. Looks like the cave showing through the water. Okay, so now let's darken up this water down here. I'm gonna have to turn my board. I'm actually gonna turn down to 2.5 because I don't want any like harsh lines.
Okay.
But I do need to darken the waterfall area up in order for the water to look like it's truly falling. Because remember, water is see-through, so it takes on whatever it's rolling over.
Unless it's glacial water.
Unless it's glacial water.
And then it has silt, so it's muddy looking.
I need some of these to be a little darker to show the rock in between. Darken this up a little bit. I remember this was the first time I was doing any kind of water like this. And so I went on the light side. Feel a little bit more comfortable with it. Yes, it's starting to look a little bit more like a waterfall that has depth to it, and that's the biggest thing I want, is the depth. Now this one is all darker down in the area here. So let's darken that. I'm moving very quickly and I'm trying to go as flat as I can with this angle in order to keep it smoother. And see, it's hard because this is a 1.5 inch cradle board, and so my hand hangs off. So I'm trying to do it where I have a brace to put my hand. Sometimes you gotta move it around.
Yep.
Darken some more areas. And even at 2.5, this will go darker. I guess I have to slow down my pen. Are we looking more like water now?
I thought it looked like water before, but I guess it looks a little bit better. Except for it's flowing sideways.
I still feel like I need more dark.
Stiff wind.
Now I am going to add white.
Are you?
To the water, yeah.
I don't know. I think it looks lovely the way it is.
Well, to get the misty effect,
I suppose.
I do have to add.
That is the artist's choice.
Mm-hmm. And this is part of adding the final details. Darkening what needs to be darkened. Remember what you were thinking. Let's see here. Let's back it off. I do feel like that looks more like a waterfall than it did. Let's back it off. Look at it for a minute. Yeah, I think it looks more than it did before. What do you think?
I mean, yeah.
I think I still need some more darks, actually, to separate. Flat. Push some of this back. Let's see here. Let's see, how's that? Yeah, see, our darkest area is right here. And it pushes back one of the flows. Let's see, did I mess it up? No.
No.
Nope, 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 nope. Okay, Carmen says, no, I don't get the notices that the lives are on. And today I was able to go to the site, but the cat box would not come up for me. I could see and hear you, but couldn't say anything. I wonder if you need to uninstall and reinstall the YouTube app. Because it shouldn't be doing any of that stuff.
Well, I know.
I don't know what else.
Sometimes, I mean, it depends on where you have it on. Because if it's on like your phone, I know I've had to reinstall. I've had to uninstall and reinstall certain applications to make them work correctly.
Have you?
No.
Alright, so this is a rock underwater. So I'm flat. I actually bumped down to 2 because I need this to be smooth. But I'm looking, and it definitely needs more darks in order to make the mist work. So I'm flat, I'm just doing circles. I can slow down to darken more if I need to. There's a waterfall coming down here. Am I still on camera? Okay.
It's on her iPad. I don't know. I don't know iPad. So
yeah, I don't either.
We don't actually. We had. Oh my god.
I haven't used Apple products in a long time, other than an iPod.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we have we have an older iPod that we can use in the car, but it's been years since we got a new Apple product.
Yeah. Just trying to darken up because there are shadows in the mist, so I'm trying to capture those. And we'll see what happens as soon as I add the white. It really is going to change. Let's see here. I think there's areas I could go darker down here. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to go too dark. Too much darker. I really like this area. Just darkening it a little bit. And I think last week we discussed that some of this moss needed to go darker. But let's focus on one thing at a time.
Here we go. I troll.
Yay, we got a turtle. Alright. And they're gone. Alright. See, up here, this is the water line up against the rocks. There's still seeing graphite up here. I need to straighten out this horizon line. feels a bit off. Now I notice I didn't burn at all her beak. Not really, actually. I'm going to switch pins for that one. Darken up some of this. And this is all doing final details, is doing your adjustments. This is the time to really, really exercise your artistic voice. Do any changes from your reference that you want to do that you feel works better than the actual photo.
Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
3H57 says, how can I get an 18XS?
Go to carvertools.com or call Pat and order it. They are already
If you know
ordered.
who Pat is.
Yeah, he's the maker of Optima.
Yeah. So would they have to go looking for Optima's site or?
carvertools.com. I got it linked in the description.
Okay.
Or you can contact PJL Enterprises on Facebook, and he'll talk to you through there.
It's like Burl's hooking them up.
Thank you. So is Kitty Danny Chavez
Yeah, it was a troll.
Gotcha.
Well, I don't know if troll is the right word, but they were trying to.
What the?
It was a.
Oh, yeah, troll. Alrighty. I'm happy with the mist. I think what I'll do is just to show you real quick what the white does. And I use my finger to blend it in, push it into the grain. Let's see here. Got some brighter ones here. I'm not going to highlight all of them. Just the ones that stand out more.
He didn't see it on the site, I guess.
Oh, it's not linked on the site. Down at the bottom of his order form, it says special request. You'll put it in there. You put it in there.
And it should be the same price as the other pins, right?
Yes, same price.
So there you
$22.
go. There you go.
Yep, 22. See, it's already starting to kind of glow a little bit, and that's what I want. And then we will. But I just use my finger and I push it into the grain. It softens it up. Makes it more cloud-like.
Nathan says, thanks, that is a really cool looking piece.
Oh, well, thank you. And you are very welcome. Let's see here. Yeah. This was my stint of, hey, I want to try surrealism. That's where she came from. Alright, so she does glow a little bit more there. We do need to look at this because I feel the moss isn't. I gotta flip it this way. It'll be easier, I think, to do it. I'm gonna bump up to 3 again because just like the leaves, I'm gonna move quickly. Fill some areas in. Kind of shape it a little bit. Darken some of these areas. And I'm just using the tip. Then I can go flat. Kind of scramble around. Because there is no rhyme or reason to this moss, and most plants are that way. Grass too. But you can tell it's moss on a tree. And remember, things at the bottom aren't getting the light, so it's darker down here, which helps give the roll or the full 3D feel of the limb. So this part goes darker. See, now this looks a bit unfinished because I just darkened these areas. I'm just going to tap down, move around. Let's see. I think I need to make some of the areas darker just so it feels more finished. See, we got little stems of the grass stuff sticking out. You can also use the ball tips to do this. But I honestly do try to use the least amount of pins as possible, especially on camera, because I don't want people to feel they have to buy every pin.
Yeah.
Because that does get expensive. If you add a pin like every couple of months, that's one thing. But you don't have to buy a ton of pins, especially starting off. In fact, it's actually better if you buy less pins or tips, depending on what brand, and get used to the ones you have. And then you'll find you don't need as many. I mean, there's pins for me that are must-haves for how I burn. I'm not a real big skew person, and skews tend to be like the main pin that comes with any set, and I always have to buy more tips when that happens. Alright, this feels a little more finished, a little fuller now that I've put some more into it. Let's see here. Bye, Kathy. He said, see you on the flip side. I don't want to flip. It'll be painful. I'll get dizzy.
That is true.
So now I can darken back here. And see, there's grasses that are sticking up from both of the mosses. There's these little grasses.
Flip side.
But
that's a comment. It's a throwback comment. Because it is a LP reference.
Yeah.
And then you can still use it during the cassette age.
Yeah.
We had cassette tape. But since CDs, well, I guess CDs have a lot of them do have dual sides now, so I guess it still applies.
Well, albums have come back too.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright.
Isn't that weird?
See here. That one I think, oops, didn't realize that was off. This one I think needs to be pushed back. I think it's too light for the area. So let's push it back. I'm flat and just doing oval strokes. Kind of pushing it back. Now, if I want it blurry, I need to make sure there's no detailed edges. Just the shape. Let's see here. Does it feel better blurry? I'm actually going to bump up to 4 because this is an area I've burned a lot. So it's going to require a little more heat, especially when I'm running the pen flat on the board. Alright, touch down hot in a dark area. Bring it forward. And now I'm going to go flat over it. Try to push it back some more. Especially at the bottom because it umbrellas, and so there's going to be less light hitting at the bottom of the edge. Darken this a little bit. There. Does that work a little bit better? Is it less? See, normally I would be taking pictures to look at it differently, but I use the camera that you guys are looking at. Although, wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm going to very quickly take a photo so I can see. This is where your camera is your friend. I'm going to back off. This way. See, it's blended in more. I mean, I know the lighting or the color isn't right now. I'm not worried about that. What I'm looking at is what everything, how it reads. So looking at this, do think the mushrooms, especially up front, need to have some more detail to it. And I think I could put even more darks to pull the queen forward. Yep, let's go that route.
Okay. Just letting you know, we're 10 minutes from the top of the hour.
Oh, okay, Big Ben, thank you. Let's go darker.
Big Ben. Your sarcasm is noted.
Oh, good.
Because you're laying it on pretty thick.
Absolutely. Let's see here. I could go with a bigger tip. Actually, for what I'm doing, the large spoon shader would work very well. So, I haven't switched pens in a while. Because it's at 4, I'm going to keep the heat setting at 4. It'll heat up quickly. Well, they always heat up quickly, but... Let's see, I'm trying to get the angle right on the camera. And I'm not doing the best job of it. Alright, we should be ready. So I'm up on the edge of the tip. Instead of, I'm not flat on the ball, I'm up on this edge. I'm trying to blend everything in. I do find that the spoon shaders are good for blending. In fact, I'm going to go up to 5. Just so we can move quicker. Because I know people want to see it like in its finished state. So I'm trying to do that. And I can even go back up on over these leaves. Push him back even more. More detail around her because we can see closer. I'm going to darken this one up. And in doing the circles, I also get a bit of open light. Oh, so sad.
I know, she's still limping.
I know she is. Need to get her to the vet.
I don't know if it's just because she's becoming more accustomed to it or if it's hurting less, but she's definitely not walking on it so much. At least not this morning.
pushing all these back. Which, I'm pushing this back. I do see now I need to push this back. This needs some more. Kind of smoothing it out a little bit. You could do a little scratching so that some of the twigs stand out a little bit as you're doing it. And more in here. Push it back. Now these mushrooms, I think do need some more shading on them. Right up along the edge. I'm going to use this spear to darken that one. Is it starting to stand out a little bit more?
I mean, yeah. You notice these things more than I do, though, because you're more tuned into it. So.
I'm just trying to tie everything together because the reference photos are all, it's a composition piece that I put together. The actual reference photo for this does not exist. So I need to make sure everything is tied together. I need to start reminding people for the U.S. time change, daylight savings time happens March 13th.
Does it?
Yep. And so lives, because Arizona does not change time, the lives are at the same time, but it's an hour later for you guys. So we are, as of the 13th, will be the same time as California. So an hour later than what today was, and that's the 13th. I'll make posts for reminders. Let's see here. Just trying to go through and darken up things. Ouch.
Teresa says, perfect. It's coming to life. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll switch over to the spear shader for
Burl says,
the mushrooms.
yeah. I don't know if she said it like that, but there's a lot of exclamation points.
Alright, let's take another photo. And we shall look at it again. See how much difference. I always try to get the same.
This is an exciting moment. I always, even when I'm painting my own stuff, I get excited near the end because it represents the end of the journey. It's a relief.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see it all come together. But then, like, you know, watching you, you know, as an artist, you know, this is a piece that, you know, people will be able to say, hey, they saw the last final touches to it. You know,
yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do with her because I feel he's too dark. I really do.
Really?
Or it's too much detail in the body. It's hard because I can't see my reference photo like they can.
I don't know. Maybe you take some time away from it.
Like another 2 years?
No, not like another 2 years. Like maybe do like, you know, we talked about, maybe hang it upside down and look at it again in a couple days and see if anything jumps out at you.
Alright. Let's darken some of these up.
We had a lot of people with us today, although there's less now, but we had a lot of people with us.
Yay!
But we do have all the people that are with us, so we appreciate you very much.
Oh, absolutely. I love our toasties.
What did you just do?
What did I do?
I don't know, I'm watching you work. You're putting a line of mushrooms.
I'm just trying to darken and kind of shape them a little bit more.
Carmen says, what will you be doing with this piece when it's 100% all done?
Oh, it'll be for sale.
Gotcha.
Depending on, it may go into some art shows before.
Yeah.
Before it goes anywhere. Let's see here. I feel like.
Yep, this is like that moment that Leonardo finally got back around to finishing the Mona Lisa.
So I bumped down to 3 because for what I'm doing, it's a lighter burn here. So just easier to control the heat.
And I bet you that the people that worked in his studio were like, huh,
Finally.
Carmen says, looks amazing.
Thank you. Let's see here. It looks like I put a mushroom here, but I may actually take that mushroom out. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm counting is how many items I have in this area. Odd numbers are more satisfying to the eye. But if I take this one out, then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It makes it an even number.
Where are you taking it out?
I'm not going to.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Teresa says also, she said, because Carmen said it looks amazing, and Teresa says it sure does.
It's
I really like
definitely
this.
Different.
Well, I like this piece because this is like more fantasy.
Yeah.
And, that's the kind of stuff I like doing.
Well, I was talking about doing a series with this. I don't know. I might.
Well,
Come
you
back
better
to
work
that.
faster because if we do a series, it could be a decade in the process.
I know. I'm trying to work on going faster.
Yes, I know you are. Sonia says, great class. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm just darkening up this rock because we don't... It's closer to the camera, so we can see more detail. But this, we want to stand out more. So I'm trying to push it back just a little bit.
Perry says, looks amazing. Wow.
Thank you. Trying to shape this. I'm trying to shape things without outlining it.
Andrea says, VRE. I don't know what that is.
See, I kind of lost where...
I must have been an autocorrect because she just retracted it. Should I read
I
these
see what it is.
comments like a computer voice? Looks amazing. Wow. Smiley face. Andrea says, looking great.
Thank you. I'm trying to separate these mushrooms because I noticed they're kind of together. I don't know that it overly matters.
I don't think it does. They're not the main focus. And I think it's clear.
So I've given it an indent. And then I'm shading it a little bit more. Now these, that's what I was going to come back to. Make it some more dark around them at the base. There we go.
Andrea says dogs agree too. The dogs are lonely. Roxy is very lonely. It was her birthday yesterday.
Yep. She turned a year old.
Yep.
A year ago, she started on the street.
Yep.
Now she cuddles.
She's super spoiled.
Yes, she is. Alright. Is that enough shadowing on them? Let's back it off. Ah. In you go. In you go. Let's see here.
I think it's enough.
You don't think there's still light compared to the surrounding? I know they're supposed to. I think these are supposed to be like more white.
They are. I think they're called white caps.
But if you look in the photo, that needs to go darker.
Well, I don't think too much.
I haven't looked at the reference on this mushroom in a while.
You know what I do see?
What's that?
But this could be an adjustment that you made or an artistic choice. The stalk of the main mushroom that she's sitting on,
This one?
it's much more heavily shaded in your reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spence says, this is one of my favorite ones that you've done. They're
Oh,
all awesome.
I appreciate
Clapping
that.
hands.
Yeah, I thought people would think this was like a silly piece.
No, I think it's very cool.
Let me reshape this. Just trying to.
Wow, it is warming up. Outside. I'm still cold.
Oh, thought you were talking about you.
No. I'm just noticing all the
Let's see.
water coming off the roof.
It's been doing it for days.
But that's not cold enough to make icicles. But it is cold enough to have a pretty steady stream of water.
Alright.
When I was younger, we would have 55-gallon barrels all around the house to collect the rain.
Yeah.
It's for things like washing clothes and stuff. Because we didn't have running water.
Just defining this one a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
Andrea says, for me, calming.
I'm
She's
glad.
referring to the piece.
I'm glad. Alright. On the camera, it looks done. I'm really, really happy with this bottom piece. Really, really happy with that.
Well, I think you did a great job. On all of it, you know?
Thing
Carmen
is,
says, it's so far from being silly. There's a lot going on. Very well put together. Awesome piece.
thank you.
Everyone, and Sheila says, everyone has a dream piece, and this burning captures it great. That's a very nice.
Yeah.
They're both very kind comments. Actually, all of these are very kind comments.
So should I continue the series?
I mean,
Because this was the Hummingbird
What's-
Queen. She was supposed to be
what's
the me.
in your heart to do? Oh,
What are you doing?
I thought that was a piece of blue tape. I was gonna pull it off. It's the design of this shirt. I was like, oh, she got tape on her.
He's trying to
Because
pull,
remember the
he's
other
trying
day?
to pull my shirt off.
Because the other day I pulled a piece of tape off your robe and I saw it and I was like, it looks just like blue tape. It does. And I was like, oh, she's got blue tape stuck on her. When did that happen? Gotta do my job. Pull the tape off. But it wasn't tape.
I think I can't see. I do feel.
Morgan's hair.
I know. I do
How's she ever
feel.
get hair on this?
I don't know. That some of these feathers need to be softened. I think they kind of feel too detailed.
Mm.
They'd lay down more. So I'm going to try.
I wouldn't change it at all. I would let it sit for a couple days and see how you feel.
But I still don't have her beak done.
I thought you said it was done.
I haven't
It
put
looks
in her
done.
beak. Not really. Looking at my reference, I'm just going to quickly, lightly put in the... I'm going to switch over to the small because it's a thinner pen, and so I can use the edge and get into smaller areas. So I do feel...
Stop teasing us.
I'm only teasing you.
Huh? It's done. No, it's not. It's finally finished. No, it's not. I'm going to work on it some more. We don't know if we should applaud. We're like, and then you're like, nope, stop. Oh.
So very...
Spence says his bear is going to be a never-ending story. Thanks, Burl.
See, I don't feel I have the correct curve on. So I'm at 2, but I'm moving very slow.
And this, chat, is why it's difficult living with a perfectionist. But it is why your work is so amazing.
Well, I want it right.
I want it right now.
Exactly. And that is where we're different. Well, not really, because I do want it right now. I guess.
You have the patience. I'm learning patience, though.
Let's see here. This is my reference that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the sepia one, not the detailed one. Color one. And I don't think I can make it bigger on camera. Big enough on camera for me to see it. But I'm noticing that there's areas that aren't dark enough on her head. I'm not going to mess with the crown, though. And I'm just using the tip and tapping because that's the texture I've already created. Feather-wise. And I'm not going out to the edge. That way he's brighter. He stands out more. You see that this is also the difference when you haven't really worked on the peaks in years. You see what needs to be adjusted. Just a little bit. Just tapping. How's that?
Yeah. Regarding Burl and the bear never being done, Spence says, yeah.
I finished that one.
Because Burl says, yeah, mine is right there with you. And Spence said, yeah, and I'm happy about that. Teresa says, oh my god, yes, I want to do that bear too, but current project is too much right now. World Pyrography Month.
Yeah.
Quite detailed. Thus, a forever project.
Oh, you can do it.
And she says, I promise that sometime I will finish it. Spence agreed, though. He's like, yep.
At least I finished the bear.
Yes. Yes, you did.
One less thing I have sitting around that needs to be worked on.
Was that bear in the show in the summer? I can't remember.
Yes.
Oh.
Alright. So, now that I've adjusted her, actually I'm glad I did. I feel she stands out a little bit better.
If you say so.
Well, then don't say that. I feel like she's glowing a little bit better now.
Okay.
Versus... granted, I'm not looking directly at the photo to see the difference on my phone from what I just did. I do kind of need to look at that, though. To see what I changed and what
Carmen says, if you guys are talking about 2 ears of the bear that Burl donated, I learned so much from that bear. I loved it. I might do it again later.
Yep, that would be the bear.
I always advocate redoing pieces later as your skill improves, because you'd be surprised just how much things change.
And the confidence boost. Ugh.
Yeah.
Because now you truly have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
So you really see the difference. It really helps.
Yeah, because you can compare your work to other people, but when you compare your work to yourself, you're getting a real evaluation of your improvement.
See her crown is a bit messed up.
I don't see that.
No, in the photo, the crown that I picked. That's just the way it is. Maybe I should have given her a better crown.
I like the crown.
What I'm doing is I'm trying to do a bit of negative burning around it to make it stand out more without having outlines. We do have darks in here.
How much longer are you planning to run?
I really want this done.
Well, I know.
By the time I turn the camera off that way.
I know. But I also know you. And this process that you're on could take another hour.
I'm just checking. We can wipe it down one more time. Oh, you said that mushroom needed to go darker.
What? The main stock?
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
This is a wing back here. This needs to go to... so we can go fast. I'm going to bump it up to 4. That way we can go quickly. Since this is the main mushroom, it does need to have... Are you writing something?
Yes.
To me?
Yes.
Telling me to hurry up?
No. Here, read this.
Okay. Alrighty. So, next week we will pull out the horse. I did get stuff done on the horse because I took it to the fair to do the demo. So it has been worked on since you guys last saw it. But I know people are having some issues with it, so I'm going to pull that out. And we're going to get that finished.
Oh. So Spence says, in regards to redoing the bear, he said he would do it differently if he ever does it again.
And that's the beauty of redoing it. You figure out real quick how you'd like to have it different.
Yep. And Teresa says, that's true. I enjoyed the fox and I would like to redo. Gave it away to my granddaughter.
Aw.
I mean, that's really cool.
Sure, she loved it.
What a cool present.
It is.
You know?
Alrighty. So I think I'm going to call this one, once it has more highlights, done.
Okay. Well, I thought it was done.
I think I'm okay with it being done.
I thought it was done like 30 minutes ago. But if you say so. I see that.
Good. Glad you see it.
I'll bet you do. Fine.
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 Whatever. Okay.
Alright. Let's get the camera as much in as we can so we can see it. This white is really going to make the just on the highest, brightest parts of the... What did I do there?
Mm-hmm.
Was that supposed to be a rock? No. And even if it was, oh well. You know what we'll do? We shall make it brighter fog.
That is a good, Carmen says, that is a good question. Oh, Teresa says in regards to the fox, she says, yes, it looks great with her princess decor for her granddaughter. Carmen says, that is a good question. When do you know when a piece is done? Well, some artist somewhere said that work is never done. It's merely abandoned.
Was that not Leonardo, or was that Da Vinci? Michelangelo?
I don't know.
It was one of them.
Yeah. But
I think it was Da Vinci.
because if you when you improve and you go back and you see, you always see things that you can improve, and so your temptation is to work it on it again. Now I varnish my work, so when I go back, I can't. You know.
Oh, I'll get this varnished for that very reason, so
Yeah.
I can't keep going back to it.
But I think when you're currently happy with it, then it's good, and I think that you should allow yourself to be done with it. And like Teresa said, I think when you're happy with it, and then just understand that every piece that you do, that you're going to go back years later, and you're going to see things wrong with it,
Yep.
and that the temptation will be there to adjust it. But speaking from experience, it's probably better just to redo it or to do something else.
Similar to it.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this with the Star Wars movies, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, George Lucas kept fiddling with them, and in some cases,
With the originals, yeah.
in some cases he made improvements. In other cases, they were probably not warranted. So, as an artist, you face the same decision process. You know, are you truly going to be improving it, or are you going to be just adding to it? So, but I think when you feel like it's done, when you feel happy with it, when there's nothing about it that bothers you, I would say that. I'd say that if you walk away from a work of art and there's just something about it that bothers you and you're not happy with it, then it's not done. So, but if you are happy with it and you want to show it to people, you know, yeah, it's probably done.
Unless you make videos.
Unless you make videos. Huh? Spence wants to know, well, let's see. Teresa says artists are their own worst critics. Correct, if they are self-critical. Because sometimes artists can get caught up in their own ego, especially when they have other people telling them how fantastic their work is. And then those artists are impossible to deal with because they don't necessarily want to hear criticism. And those artists typically also need improvement.
Yeah.
You know? But yes, in general, most artists are their own worst critics. Spence says, does the white charcoal pencil stay on when you seal it?
I'm going to spray it with UV spray and it'll stay on.
Okay.
Yep.
And Teresa says, how true, hubcap. I don't know what I said, but I appreciate you agreeing with me.
Somebody has to.
Yes. Because no one in this house will.
Oh, you. I just want to. It's going to end up getting wiped off. Because I need to wipe it again. But I want to see how much it glows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the fog. I really am.
Teresa says, I never think my work is perfect. Always striving to be better. Me too.
I'm very, really happy with something I've done. Alrighty. I think the Hummingbird Queen is done.
What a moment.
Oh, I forgot to do one thing.
Ah! It's done. No, it isn't.
Oh, I forgot to do one thing.
What is the thing? You gonna sign it?
Yep.
Okay. That's acceptable.
I'm gonna sign it.
Not that I have any weight here, but that's acceptable.
Let's see. We are gonna put I'm trying to figure out which side I want to do.
I thought you always did it on the right.
Not always. I mean, I have more room there. But
Burl says, "Bet you never thought you'd hear those words," says Jason. Yes.
let's see here. It will show up better here, but I tend to on the front. I do tend to hide my initial, not hide them, but they're not.
Carmen says, "Congrats on a great piece."
Oh, thank you.
Heart.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this because it is such... I can't brace my hand. So we're going to angle it so I can. Alright. Now it's initialed.
Well done.
Let's back it out so we can fully see it. Maybe. Kind of. Because you can't... Yeah. I don't tend to make my... Yeah, I don't make them too dark. I don't want my name or initials to be the first thing you see in a piece.
Me neither.
I want credit for my piece, but I don't want it to be the first thing I see.
I normally...
Which I do see it right now. I may darken some areas up so it doesn't stay there. But off camera. Off camera. Off camera. Alright. We got any questions? So next week...
What are we doing?
Next week... We'll be working on the horse next week.
Oh, the horsey. I forgot about the horsey.
Yeah. I guess we'll work some more on the mane because I think that's where people were having the biggest issue was the mane.
The biggest issue? Would you say that would be their main problem?
Yes. Yes. Now some of this darkening I actually used the torch to darken with this.
Well, I like that.
You saw me do it.
I know. I'm just telling you. I like it when you use a torch. I think it's cool.
Can you grab me more photography mode right there? Please.
Can I grab it?
And hand it to me nicely. With love and care.
Oh, okay. Here you go.
Thank you. Alrighty, so I only have... This is my World Pyrography. I just have this bottle to get done. Other than that, this would be done. I'm going to click off.
I don't really think there's much to do on that bottle, is there?
I need to put the bottle in.
It looks like it's in.
No, this one right
Yeah,
here.
I see it.
It doesn't look in.
Oh, well.
All the other ones in. So I need to wipe the board, put, make any adjustments on it, and then I'll move this one.
Teresa has got to go.
Hey, Teresa.
Not feeling too swift today. Bye
Aw.
for now. Thank you. Well, I've got to all.
I hope you feel better.
Spence says, I plan to use my torch when I do mine.
So that's World Pyrography Month. Definitely
Yay.
needs more white.
Yes, get better,
But
Teresa.
I'm overall happy with it.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
It's very different.
Yes, it is.
Another fantasy piece, I guess, on some level.
Yes, it looks like an album cover.
An album cover? Yeah. Kind of, huh?
Yep.
Maybe that's what I should market it as. An album cover. Alrighty.
For a hipster band.
For hipster band. So we are going to be finished. I'm looking for something. You know what to say. Oh, don't forget to hit like. And if you're new and you made it all the way to the end, thank you. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell to get all the notifications. You have to hit the bell and then click all notifications. Or YouTube just isn't going to tell you.
Yep.
It sucks. So say that with me. You're awesome. You can do this. Why? Because you're a pyro artist.
I'm cold.
Happy burning, guys. Bye. You're cold. You're silly.